traffic is just crazy. We'll see if that matches with the pedestrian walkways. And they said that they were making progress on the A's stadium right here off to our right. And that's where the stadium would be, on the other side of that wall here, where the Tropicana formerly stood. But sadly is gone, of course, the Tropicana. And MGM Grand right there with its huge lion out front. And again, they used to have fountains out in front of New York, New York, as well as there at MGM Grand. Those are long gone. Or the water feature. Yeah, it does. It doesn't look like they've done anything, especially when you compare that, Tobin, to the progress they've made on that Hard Rock Hotel guitar-shaped hotel. Think about how fast they're putting that thing up versus what's going on over here. I don't know what's going on. And the Rays, the Tampa Bay Rays, they have problems there with. I mean, they've been wanting to look at either a new stadium or relocating for a long time, and now, of course, because I don't know how many of you know, but their stadium, their home stadium, their roof collapsed, and so they're playing their home games. I believe it's Steinbrenner Field, which is the Yankees' home during for spring training. So it's not up to MLB standards, right? An MLB park. That was the reason they told Vegas that they couldn't come down here to start playing. The A's couldn't start playing, was because it's not up to MLB standards. Well, that's what the Rays are doing there. The Circus. Yeah, I would have loved to have seen that. Yeah, man. Check out the big lion there. Still very shiny. I wonder, they must get out there and like pressure wash them every so often or something. And then of course New York, New York, right there. That's right, Paul. I saw that. Yeah. So I'm gonna try and see if I can watch a little bit of them as well. I gotta find Michael Jackson first though, because we all know how much Tobin loves those videos that I post up of Michael Jackson. Or Mike Phoenix, his name is, but he's a really, really cool guy. Really, really awesome guy. And a lot of fun. So there's, so Jasmine is leaving, so now Harry, their new well, he's not new, he's been there for a while, but Harry is the bartender that's supposed to be taking over the rotating bar there at Whiskey Liquor. So Harry will be the bartender from this point forward. And I asked him what they were doing for Rome next week, for, you know, Rome from Sublime. He said he hasn't heard yet, because he's going to be performing right there at that stage on First Street, the First Street stage. When they had Robin Thicke here a couple weeks ago, Robin Thicke got out in the crowd and was out milling about, shaking hands with the crowd and stuff. That's pretty cool. Now, Robin Thicke only had one song that I can remember, but that's still cool when those guys, you know, they get out and act like regular people and stuff, you know. Ah, the carousel was there. Okay. Cool, Tobin. So this is Tropicana Avenue here, major east-west artery here in town. Take you all across the entire Las Vegas Valley. So they see pedestrian traffic over here on the right in front of the Raising Cane's and T-Mobile and LED screens and M&M World, Coca-Cola bottle. And it was in the news, it was in the local news, so there were two live streamers here. There are two live streamers here who got arrested back during the whole protest thing back on the 14th of June. And those two protesters, it was in the news, it was in the Review Journal today, I think it was also in the like Channel 8 and Channel 3 and stuff, the local channels. And those two are suing Metro for arresting them. And they got an attorney and everything, and the attorney's taken it, and the attorney says they've got a good shot at it because it's, you know, infringement of First Amendment rights and this and that. So they were telling the crowds to disperse. However, these two individuals, these streamers, were just standing on the street corner when like a whole parade of cops walked by in 2x2 formation. And the very last cop in that train, if you will, says to them, you guys have nothing better to do, or something to that effect. And so the male streamer says to them, honor your oath, and then the letter B word. So they turned around, and a whole bunch of them grabbed him, put him, on the ground, arrested him and everything for what they said was it disorderly and failure to obey the dispersal order, something like that. But there was no one else around, so I don't know. We'll see how it plays out in court, but it's an interesting case. I like to watch a lot of the First Amendment auditors too. Oh, nice, Tobin, thanks. Biggest coke bottle, nice, very cool. On patrol, yes, that's good. They're in what, Minneapolis, right? I think they're in Minneapolis. There's the Coke bottle in the M&M World right there. And then New York, along with Park MGM. No? Okay. I thought... Or is that the live one that they do with the, like they follow the cops or whatever? I would love to do a ride-along with the cops here. However, they won't let you film. And then you have... So they told me that you can FOIA their body cam footage. However, that takes months if they decide to give it to you at all. FOIA, of course, being Freedom of Information Act. But yeah, it just seems like a lot of trouble. And by the time that if I ever did get the footage from the body cam for that particular drive, it would probably not be very timely anyway. So, different city. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, there's a guy, a sheriff or something, or deputy or something that runs around in Minneapolis and live streams. That's pretty cool. And I like it because it's transparency in government. I'm always for that myself. That's always a good thing. So guys, I also read this week, and I'm gonna pose the question first. And I want to know what your thoughts are. The #1 degree issued by the University of Nevada, Las Vegas, UNLV, which is the big college here, big university. #1 degree issued, undergrad degree issued, so bachelor's degree, to undergrads in the year 2023. But you can't Google it, because that wouldn't be fair. What do you guys think it is? Too much hassle, exactly, Sal. Yeah, that would be way too much to go through. Yeah, so I'm like, okay, I'll just, whatever. And I thought about interviewing the GM down there on Fremont, but the thing is that I have to be home with our boys. So by the time that he's off of work or whatever, Bob Fletcher, that's the one. Yes, that's right. That's a cool one to watch too. Yeah. You never know what you're going to see with those guys. A lot of times, it's just boring. That's a lot of the cops. That's why they get so excited when something happens. It reminds me a little bit of the movie Gambling Tech. That's a good guess. Very good guess. It reminds me a little bit of the movie Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle, the first one, with the police station scene, the way the cops were acting there. If you've seen that movie, it's pretty funny. So I don't see too many other guesses. So it was, in fact, psychology. That was the #1 degree issued here. Now the #2 was hospitality, which is no surprise, because that's what the casinos want. Is they want these folks educated in how to come to work for them and all that in this town. Customer service, yeah, I would definitely qualify that under the hospitality arm for sure. See Veer Towers there, along with the Crystal Shops. All very high-end shopping right there. The strip is moving very slowly this evening. Very, very slowly. Huh. Eiffel Tower up there. Rainforest Cafe.